Last month, Tesla CEO Elon Musk unveiled a model of what he said was a fully autonomous Robotaxi. He touted the vehicle as the future of transportation.
We'll move from supervised full self-driving to unsupervised full self-driving, where the car, you could fall asleep and wake up at your destination.
As Tesla's electric vehicle sales have flattened this year, Musk has increasingly staked the company's future on his vision for self-driving robotaxis. He faces not just massive technological hurdles, though, but also regulatory ones. In the U.S., Tesla confronts a diverse landscape of state-by-state driverless vehicle laws. In an October earnings call, Musk blasted the patchwork of regulations. He said he'd advocate for a single federal approval office if Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump won the election. He told investors, quote, "If there's a Department of Government Efficiency, I'll try to make that happen." This week, Trump tapped Musk and another ally to lead that very department, which is not a government agency. It remains unclear how that organization will function. Tesla and Musk did not respond to Reuters' requests for comment, but the billionaire, who gave at least $119 million to a pro-Trump group during the campaign, is likely to have immense sway. A person close to the transition planning told Reuters Musk is expected to influence the president-elect's pick for the next Transportation Department secretary. That department, which includes the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, regulates automakers and could push through significant changes to the self-driving rules at a national level. But Tesla would still face steep technological and legal hurdles in deploying driverless vehicles. Tesla remains years behind rivals in California, by far the carmaker's largest U.S. market and a primary testing ground for the autonomous vehicle industry. State records show Tesla has logged just 562 testing miles since 2016 and hasn't filed autonomous driving reports to California regulators since 2019.
What if the world's most experienced driver was at your fingertips?
By comparison, Alphabet's Waymo logged more than 13 million testing miles and secured 7 different regulatory approvals between 2014 and 2023. Waymo declined to comment on Tesla's regulatory strategy or its approach to autonomous driving.
I think the cost of autonomous transport will be so low.
Musk says self-driving Teslas will be ready next year, echoing unfulfilled promises dating back about a decade. A key test will now be how soon the fully autonomous cars appear on the roads of low-regulation states such as Texas, and how Tesla will navigate questions of legal liability.
Nissan shares jumped as much as 6% on Friday after a report that activist investor Oasis Management had taken a stake in the automaker. Nissan's shares had also jumped on Tuesday after a filing showed an entity related to activist Efficimo Capital Management had also invested. Shareholder activism has been gaining traction in Japan. The country's Diamond online magazine cited an unnamed person as saying Oasis had taken a stake in Nissan before Efficimo, although the report said that the size of the stake and when the shares were bought were not clear. An Oasis representative declined to comment on the report. International and domestic investors are demanding firms to improve corporate governance and capital allocation at a record pace, also helped by regulators' guidance. Nissan last week issued a profit warning and said it would slash 9,000 jobs and a fifth of its global manufacturing capacity. That's amid a sales slump in its 2 biggest markets, China and the United States. The stock is down 35% from its high this year. Back to basics. Burberry is to focus on its core trench coats and scarves to win back customers. In a strategy update on Thursday, the struggling luxury brand said it will be less ambitious with prices for bags and shoes, while using its British heritage appeal. Burberry reported a loss for the first half of its financial year, while announcing a $51 million cost-saving program. New CEO Joshua Schulman laid out his turnaround plan. He's Burberry's 4th CEO in a decade, and the brand has also seen 3 creative directors in the last 7 years. Burberry made an adjusted operating loss of over $50 million in the first half, and said it was too early to tell whether it would make a profit for the year. It also signalled that its price increases had gone too far. Asia Pacific was the weakest region in the second quarter, with sales there down 28%. Burberry shares are down nearly 50% this year, and the company is widely seen as a takeover target. Shares soared over 14% following the turnaround announcement, set for their biggest one-day surge in over 4 years.
Foxconn reported a better-than-expected 14% rise in quarterly profit on Thursday. Net profit for July to September hit $1.5 billion, beating analyst forecasts and marking a 5th consecutive quarter of profit growth. Foxconn also said it would increase investment in several countries. It comes amid growing trade tensions between the US and China. US President-elect Donald Trump has threatened to put a 10% tariff on all US imports and a 60% levy on Chinese-made products. The move could impact Foxconn, as its Zhengzhou plant in China is a major iPhone assembly location. It's already diversified its supply chain, expanding production in India in particular. Looking ahead, the world's largest contract electronics maker expects artificial intelligence to be a key revenue driver. It sees robust growth in its AI server business next year. Foxconn forecasts they would make up for half of its total server revenue next year. The Taiwanese firm is a key supplier to Apple and Nvidia, serving as a top iPhone assembler. It's kept its guidance for this year of significant sales growth. Foxconn's October sales hit a record high for the month. It further said it expects fourth quarter revenue to grow year on year. The firm has also expanded into contract electric vehicle manufacturing for diversification. But it delayed its target of a 5% share in the global EV market by next year as the industry faces slowing demand. Foxconn shares have doubled so far this year, beating the broader markets. The EU hit Facebook owner Meta with a huge fine on Thursday for breaching antitrust rules. The tech giant must pay just over $840 million for abusive practices that benefited its online classified ad service, Facebook Marketplace. The European Commission accused Meta of tying Marketplace to its personal social network, Facebook. It further said Meta imposed unfair trading conditions on other online classified ad service providers. Meta said in a statement it will appeal the decision. The US firm said in the meantime it will work quickly to find solutions for the points raised. The EU decision argues Meta imposes Marketplace on people who use Facebook in an illegal tie. But Meta said that ignores how Facebook users can choose whether to engage with Marketplace, and many do not. Meta said the Commission claimed Marketplace could hurt the growth of large online marketplaces in the EU, but didn't find any evidence of harm to competitors. Companies risk fines of as much as 10% of their global turnover for EU antitrust violations.
Ice cream brand Ben & Jerry's said in a lawsuit filed Wednesday that the parent company Unilever has silenced its attempts to express support for Palestinian refugees. The lawsuit is the latest sign of the long-simmering tensions between Ben & Jerry's and Unilever. A rift erupted between the two in 2021 after Ben & Jerry's said it would stop selling its products in the Israeli-occupied West Bank because it was inconsistent with its values. That led some investors to divest Unilever shares. The ice cream maker then sued Unilever for selling its business in Israel to its licensees there, which allowed marketing in the West Bank and Israel to continue. The lawsuit was settled in 2022. In its new lawsuit, Ben & Jerry's says that Unilever has breached the terms of that settlement. The new lawsuit says that Unilever is required to respect and acknowledge Ben & Jerry's independent board's social mission. In response to a Reuters story, Unilever said in an emailed statement that its heart goes out to all the victims of the tragic events in the Middle East, but that it rejects the claims. Within the lawsuit, Ben & Jerry's said it has tried to call for a ceasefire and support the safe passage of Palestinian refugees to Britain, as well as back student protests at US colleges and advocate for a halt in US military aid to Israel, but that it has been blocked by Unilever. Ben & Jerry's has positioned itself as socially conscious since Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield founded the company in 1978. It kept that mission after Unilever acquired it in 2000. In March, Unilever said it will spin off its ice cream business, including Ben & Jerry's, by the end of 2025 to simplify its holdings.
Shares of Walt Disney surged on Thursday after the media giant reported quarterly earnings that beat Wall Street's estimates.
This is your chance to be a hero.
Successful summer sequels helped boost revenue at Disney's entertainment unit, with Deadpool and Wolverine bringing in $1.3 billion at global box offices. That movie, along with Pixar's Inside Out 2, which also crossed the billion-dollar mark at the worldwide box office, helped stoke viewing on the Disney Plus service, which fueled licensing and other revenue. The success at movie theaters helped offset a decline in operating income at the company's experiences and sports divisions, and streaming gains helped offset a 38% decline in operating income for Disney's traditional television networks. Disney also issued an optimistic outlook for earnings growth through 2027. That pushed Disney shares up more than 10% in morning trading, to its highest price in 6 months. Chief Executive Bob Iger, who returned to the company from retirement in November 2022, undertook aggressive cost-cutting and worked to revitalize the company's film and TV units after a period of misfires. Last month, Disney announced it would name a new chief in early 2026.